Pistons in the nation's capital for their second meeting. That's artist David Garibaldi. He moves really fast and painted the Martin Luther King portrait on the floor there. Then they got to work. Bradley Beal. We were talking All-Stars earlier. Today is the last day you can vote, by the way, fans. And
did you vote for Bradley Beal?
I didn't as a starter, no.
Did you vote for him as a reserve?
I don't have that option.
Okay, well,
coaches get that.
Okay, you're right.
Job.
Right,
Not my job.
I was just checking your voting.
Well, we were talking about Kyrie Irving and who's the second Eastern Conference guard, and Beal's name came up. I don't know where you guys stand on that.
They haven't won enough. Zeke, hard to make them all-star when you don't win more than they've won.
They haven't.
We were talking about
enough.
Vucevic. I mean,
yeah.
I know.
But you know he's a all-star caliber player.
Yes,
sure.
But when you look at what Simmons has done, when you look at even a guy like Bledsoe who's playing on the winning team, and then you look at the Kemba Walkers of the world. I mean, it's tough right now.
Otto Porter at 19. I ended up going with Simmons, by the way.
But no one will be mad at you for going with.
Well, I hope no one's mad. There's no reason to be mad about it.
No.
Well, they might be mad.
Somebody might be mad.
Yeah.
Okay. I know they're mad in Detroit because they've kind of fallen off the cliff here the last few weeks. Detroit's been having a tough time.
Why you got to rub it in?
I'm just saying, a former Piston. I thought maybe you'd stick up for him or something.
No, that's why I'm talking to Matt about Simmons. I'm trying to ignore this highlight.
They have the same record as the Wizards. By the way, Wizards are now 7-4 since John Wall went down for the season, so that's happening again. And that discussion's going to happen again between now.
I mean, everybody feeds, everybody eats, everybody's feeling better.
Everybody's sated right now in Washington.
Okay, all right.
They're eating well.
101.87. Yeah, everybody's feeding each other.
Mention the voting. You have until midnight tonight Eastern time to cast your vote for NBA All-Star 2019. Remember, the fans vote carries 50% of the weight. There's a media panel. That's 25%. Players vote 25%.
So fans, do your job, man. Like, don't vote Robin Lopez in because you want to see him beat up a mascot or something like that. Vote for the guys who have played the best in this 45-game span. And don't do this guy has had a great career. What have you done this 45 games? And there will be no All-Stars in this next series of highlights we're going to show you.
Because you know what happens? If you make a silly vote because you like the guy or it's a joke vote or whatever, then everyone's going to kill you in the league.
Agreed.
You voted in a guy who doesn't belong.
Couldn't agree more.
Anyway, that leads us to the Bulls and Cavaliers.
Why are the Cleveland Cavaliers passing it to the Bulls guys all the time? That's really not good.
Strategically, that's not a strong approach.
No.
They only had 14 turnovers.
I just saw
we just showed
5 of them.
We just showed a lot of them, as it turned out. That's Zach LaVine. That's all-star talent. Speaking of which. Well, not an all-star, but all-star talent.
Potential all-star talent. I thought, before the knee injury, he definitely was headed that way, and hopefully he can continue to bounce back and improve.
Yeah, there's another pass to the other team.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Apparently we showed a disproportionate number of turnovers. Maybe didn't completely represent what Cleveland did, but it wasn't good.
No, they scored.
Well, Chicago is
points.
Great in transition off the turnover.
Yeah, when you pass to them, they're really a good team out in that transition area.
Cue the Angels. Chicago's 10-game losing streak is over.
Oh, thank goodness.
Parade will be Wednesday, I think.
Yeah,
Cleveland, on the other hand, has lost 16 of 17.
Oh.
As you look at these two teams, Cleveland obviously post LeBron, they're in a complete rebuild. Chicago feels like there's more of a ray of hope there because of the young core. Markkanen finally came back. You got LaVine back.
There's a ray of hope to get a lottery pick and add to their core of young talent. Now, will they get the first pick? No, but I think the hope is around being in the lottery and adding another young player to their talent.
Yeah, no question. And then everybody knows about Markkanen, but LaVine's got to keep on improving. Dunn's got to improve. They have so many young guys that have got to keep improving, and they've got to make big jumps. If you keep drafting all these guys and they all just stay in a kind of a muddied up 5 through 9 reserve type guys. Some of those guys have got to come up and be legitimate NBA starters and legitimate starters on winning teams. And that requires those young guys making big jumps. And they've got to do it.
All right, more coming up here on Game Time Live, including we'll hear from more NBA stars on what Martin Luther King means to them, including Chris Paul. Philadelphia 76ers and Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted, as he is wont to do, that the Rockets have agreed to trade Carmelo Anthony and cash to the Chicago Bulls. We expect the Bulls then to turn him around and release him for Melo to become a free agent. It'll save the Rockets some cap money moving forward, and Melo will become, as I said, a free agent available to anybody around the league. The question here, guys, is what kind of market will there be for Carmelo Anthony at this stage of his career and at this stage of the season?
I think there will always be a market for a guy that can score the basketball and be a good teammate. And I think the last part of it is when Carmelo gets interviewed by different teams, they will be trying to ascertain if he can be a good teammate, right? And if he can be a good teammate, I don't think people question his talent on the offensive side of the ball. I think they question, A, is he coachable? And B, can he be a good teammate? Because if you're coachable and you can be a good teammate, then there's a place for you in this league. I think what's happened to him in Houston, unfortunately, is that people question if he's coachable or can he be a good teammate. And the last part, last question I got is, do you think Wojo knew before Carmelo?
Probably, yeah.
I think Carmelo knew this was coming because procedurally they had to get it done today.
And that
probably
was
knew something
just a
was going to
joke
happen.
because Wojo's so good.
Yeah.
He always has the scoop.
Yeah,
Well, here's the
Woj
potential.
broke it to Melo. He called
Yeah,
him. You get
Very well,
credit.
Mike. Here are the potential cons on this from Carmelo Anthony. He's coming off his worst season as a pro last year. He's 34 going on 35. He's only played 2 games so far this season. How many teams are interested in that guy? I guess if you're a borderline team and you need something off your bench and he's willing to be that guy, maybe you take a chance?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to be honest. I look at him as a defensive liability right now. He's not able to guard. In a switching league where everybody's getting out and doing so much switching, the length and the ability to move your feet, block shots, just be disruptive defensively is huge. He's never been disruptive defensively. He's always been an average to poor defender.
Yeah.
And then you hit on the biggest thing, Zeke. You're just saying, if I'm a young team, okay, and we're struggling a little bit, maybe to score some points, and he might help us in that area. Do I want to bring him into our locker room? And is he going to be a positive influence on all these young guys that you're trying to explain to them? It's not about putting up numbers. It's about putting up wins.
Yeah.
It's not about how many numbers you can get. It's how good you can make your teammate. It's not all about you. It's about us. A little less me, a lot more we. Does he fit into that? And if you're a GM, there's a lot of questions you got to ask yourself with that guy.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. He's expected to be released today. The deal won't go through formally today because it's a holiday, probably tomorrow, and then he'll become a free agent available to anybody, and we'll see what the market is for 34-year-old Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, the only question on that is the animal going to shoot threes in Houston? Everybody else shoots them.
Well, yeah, that's you either going to shoot a 3 or you're going to shoot a layup. And
He can have a lot of layups and
I think
dunks,
he's the
okay.
layup part of that equation.
well, in his mind, I'm sure he's been working on his
It's 3. Oh, I like to see this. I can't wait. He's like, here we go, baby.
The big man's dream, right? It's like, I finally find a coach who's going to let me shoot the 3, and I'm going to prove to all of you that I can shoot the 3.
There you go.
I think you should get some of Clint Capella's minutes. Of course, Capella is out for the next few weeks for the Rockets. They are playing very small here lately. Let's bounce around. 4th straight win for the Bucks, who have now won 16 of their last 19. One of the headlines, though, is Doncic becomes the 2nd teenager ever to record a triple-double.
Okay, and we missed the whole lead on this whole story. There was 2 Antetokounmpos arm in arm before the game. You know that picture they had?
Yeah.
How often can you say 2 Antetokounmpos? I mean, 1 Antetokounmpo is hard enough to say, but when you throw 2 Antetokounmpos out there.
I believe the plural is Antetokounmpi.
Oh, Antetokounmpi.
We'll check
like
the research,
octopi.
but-
Yeah, exactly. I hear it.
I just call him Giannis and Lil Giannis.
Giannis and Giannis' little brother.
Yeah, that's Lil Giannis right there.
Costas, by the way, who was drafted last by the Mavericks, the 60th overall pick. Let's talk about Doncic here a little bit. He's putting up numbers 26 and 5. He would be the third rookie in NBA history to put up those numbers. The other two are Oscar Robertson and Michael Jordan.
Oof.
Yeah.
If you're underestimating what Luka Doncic has done, it's pretty remarkable.
It's remarkable and impressive, and it's real. You know, this isn't a fluke.
Right.
He's not having a good month. He's not having a good couple of weeks. I mean, he's the real deal, and he's only going to get better.
Yep.
And he also has, in my opinion, the perfect coach for him in Rick Carlisle, because Carlisle has put him in positions where he can be successful. Not only has he put him in positions where he can be successful, but he's moved him all around the floor, and he's letting him use the total, you know, repertoire of all his skills. So I like what Luka, I like who Luka is, and I like what Carlisle has really done and the way the team has bought into him.
Yeah, the reason that's real, he plays at his own pace. He just goes fast when he wants to go fast. Other than that, he takes his time. He sees the entire court. I mean, you know, to do the ball fakes he does, he gets guys, he does the okie-doke, puts it over their head,
Yeah.
and brings it back, and then shoots it, or puts it over their head. He's so calm with the ball. Yeah. He's made really big shots for this team when they needed him in crunch situations. But yet, he sees the court so well. You see some guys that come in our league and they just play 100 miles an hour, and their speed kind of gets everybody. He just plays at his own pace. And when you play at your own pace, the more you get accustomed to the league and the more you get comfortable, the better you play. So he's just going to get better. Because he's doing it with this. I mean, he's got a really high basketball IQ, knows how to play. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think you're right. I think Coach Carlisle does a tremendous job with him. Now, can they incorporate Smith back in the fold and get Dennis Smith playing well with him? Because I think that Smith's a heck of an athlete, should be able to play off him. And if they can get that thing solved, that's two nice young pieces.
Very nice young pieces.
You know, for Dallas to grow with. But
and I think Smith, skill-wise, really complements Luka, because, you know, he's athletic, he's electrifying, he can do things in the air, he can bring the crowd into it, he can handle the ball sometimes, he can run Luka off. So, I mean, skill-wise, they really fit. Now, chemistry-wise, do they fit? And when you have two young players like that, sometimes it doesn't work out because personalities do clash. But Luka's the real deal.
If you've been following this story, you know that Dennis Smith Jr. has been away from the team. He's missed 5 games in a row now, apparently just because he's unhappy about his role and about the way Rick Carlisle has used him, and perhaps about the way Rick Carlisle has coached Luka Doncic relative to the way he's been coached. They expect him to return to the team and be back by Tuesday. You just saw the Magic